Hi class, Mr. Cardinal here with lesson 3 from chapter 3, Estimating Products and Quotients. Be prepared for a quiz on Monday on lessons 1 and 2. Lesson 1 was on estimating and lesson 2 was on adding and subtracting decimals. When estimating products and quotients, I want you to remember two things: rounding and compatible numbers. Those are two techniques that we will be using during this lesson. When rounding, if you look at the example on this paper, you are going to round each factor to the nearest whole number and multiply. So my 4 and 287 thousandths becomes 4, and my 2 and 804 thousandths becomes 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. So 12 is an estimation for that particular multiplication problem. When dividing by decimals, you may use compatible numbers to estimate as well. For this example, 16 and 173 thousandths becomes 15, because I know 15 divided by 3 is easy to do in my head. So that 2 and 45 hundredths becomes 3. So 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Now, when looking at that particular problem, you may also look at 16 and 173 thousandths and say that let's keep it at 16, and take that 2 and 45 hundredths and keep that at 2. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. That is also another method or another way of using compatible numbers, even though that is also rounding. It just so happens that it is also thought of as compatible numbers. So with compatible numbers, there is always more than one option. There isn't one right answer. And again, I should repeat that. Again, compatible numbers, there may be one or more than one way of using compatible numbers for a particular problem to create an estimate. To look at a couple more examples, let's do 1 through 3 and also 10 through 12. 1 through 3, we are using rounding to estimate each answer. So we are going to round it to the nearest whole number. 3 and 73 hundredths becomes 4. Hundredths becomes, or stays the same at 8. 8 times 4 is 32. The second problem, again, I look at my tenths column. I have a 5. That 5 is going to raise my 35 to 36. My operation is division. The 2 is going to keep my 9 the same. 36 divided by 9 equals 4. And the last one, again, 3 is going to keep my 7 the same. And my 6 is going to raise my 5 to a 6. So 7 times 6 equals 42. Now, when using compatible numbers, again, it is basically a method to get the answer, or get an estimate using mental math. Compatible numbers, again, are numbers that are close to the actual number. So if I look at 55 and 93 hundredths and 8 and 34 hundredths, I'm thinking of a division problem that would be close to 55 divided by 8 that I would be able to do in my head. Right away, I am thinking of 56 divided by 8, which equals 7. For number 11, again, I'm even ignoring my decimals. 61 divided by 8. I can't necessarily do that quick in my head, but I know that I can do 63 divided by 9, and 63 divided by 9 equals 7. Now we're into a little bit larger number. I have 122, and again, I'm going to ignore my decimals, or the places to the right of the decimal point. 122 divided by 5. Can't do that one in my head, but I certainly can do 125 divided by 5 in my head, and 125 divided by 5 equals 25. So there are 3 examples of using compatible numbers and 3 examples using rounding. Just to make sure that I am aware that you watched the video, let's do number 4 and number 13. I want you to come to class with your answer for number 4 and number 13, and don't forget to turn in this particular video on Google Classroom. And if you have any difficulty, just send me an email or a message saying that you watched it but you weren't able to turn it in. And plus, of course, I will know because you have your work here in class. So again, write this on a sheet of paper, come to class with your answers. Thank you, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Don't forget a quiz.